forward to working with the city. I was a planning commissioner under Richard Reardon for 2 years and worked with some of the different council members. Look forward to, in the South Valley, looking forward to bringing balance between development and the community. I wear quite a few hats in the community. I've been vice president at Sherman Oaks Homeowner Association for 11 years and also local real estate agent in the South Valley, and look forward to working with all of you.
We just heard from Mr. Matt Epstein, who is looking at the South Valley Area Planning Commission. And I want to thank them all. They all came before the committee, talked about their background, and I want to thank the mayor for proposing a group of candidates who have the type of knowledge and experience that I know will advance our city in all of our causes within these boards and commissions. So thank you very much for attending, and I urge an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes, and thank you, Ms. Williams, for your previous service on the Housing Authority. You did an extraordinary job there. It's good to have you back. I want to recognize Ms. Gruhl and then Mr. Zine to be our next speakers.
Thank you, Mr. President, and want to share, Eleanor, so glad we're keeping you in the city family here in building and safety. And as you know, there was an audit recently that's had a lot of discussion, and so I hope as you go forward and the commissioner will get some feedback and you'll work with them as we address some of the issues that were outlined in the audit. So thank you for that. And Patricia and Matt, you know, there's nothing more important than planning issues in this city. I'll focus my comments to Matt, since he represents my district and are going to come before his South Valley, but maybe to you as well, Patricia, which is on housing and transportation, and we're trying to look at the linkages there and the importance. Any thoughts on how we do that as part of the planning process?
Any thoughts? Well, it's important to look at every project as it comes in front of the commission. It's a very, very diverse area that we have, and at this point I'm open. I'm open to looking at each project by project. And
I think that's part of it, because right now we don't always look at the comprehensive nature of the impact of the different projects, and it would be same in your area, Tricia, as well, which is in the looking at the fact that projects get looked at as their transportation. There may be another one that's coming forward and there isn't some coordination, and we're working with both Gail Goldberg and with Gloria Jeff to kind of address that and some of the issues. And again, I know, Matt, you've served on the South Valley before, so this is not your first time, but everything from condo conversion demolitions in the district to balancing the need for more housing and preserving some of the communities, both Sherman Oaks and Studio City, which are in Valley Village, impacted greatly and come before the South Valley. But I'm just pleased that Matt is coming back with experience onto the South Valley Area Planning Commission, and appreciate it. And I have to just tell a quick story about his son, because he's here, and Jonathan, and Matt's daughter as well, and wife, and as well as his mom, and part of the family Jules Fair who are here today to support him. But I told Jonathan about us, that we could use 311. He actually, probably he listens more than Matt does to my speeches, but that one call to City Hall could take care of anything. And so unfortunately Jonathan dropped his favorite tennis shoe in the gutter, kind of in the sewer there, and wasn't able to get it. And he told his dad that that Wendy Gruhl had said you could call 311 and be able to take care of it. And so he ran inside, called 311, and told the operator, put a sign, if you find my shoe, could you throw it in the backyard? And they went off to dinner. And Matt didn't believe that 311 would actually take care of it. And lo and behold, they came back from dinner, and his tennis shoe was in the backyard. They had come and taken care of it. Anyways, hopefully, Matt, you'll listen to me now, because your son does, as we come before the South Valley. But again, I'm interested in, as we link planning and transportation and housing, and these are really tough issues that affect each of our neighborhoods. So I just want to say thank you for all of your willingness to serve. This is really the meat and potatoes of what we do every day, and some of the concerns we have from our neighborhood. So look forward to working with all of you. And sorry I gave you a hard time, Matt, but it's part of the job.
Thank you, Mr. Zine.
Good morning, commissioners. Good morning. Matt, I've known you a long time. South Valley, East Valley, doing well. A lot of development. When we talk about building and safety, some controversy about their enforcement aspects, so we've got to be cognizant of that. I only mentioned the aspect of the planning when it goes through the neighborhood councils, when it goes through the commissions, when it goes to the department, when it comes to development. what we need to do is maintain a quality of life. The enforcement's critical with building safety, and what we see happening throughout the city is apartments, which people can afford, are being converted to condos, which people can't afford, displacing a lot of people. I just want to let you know we're sensitive to that. The people of Los Angeles need to maintain affordable housing, and affordable housing, unfortunately, is, for many people, become unaffordable. It's gone through the roof. So just understand all the issues that we have in the Southwest Valley, which go through the South Valley Planning Commission. We work closely with the commission, closely with the neighborhood councils, closely with the community. And for the other parts of the city, it's a citywide problem where all these conversions are taking place. And I understand capitalism and the activity of people making money, but we also have a moral obligation to provide affordable housing for people. And also with the enforcement, if we don't have the follow-up and enforcement, then it all falls apart. But Matt, I know you, so I know you'll do well. You've been here before. Other commissioners, welcome, and I'm sure you'll find it interesting and exciting. And when those audits come out, we always want to make sure we're doing the right thing for the people of Los Angeles. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zine. Mr. Labange is our next speaker.
Very much. I appreciate the work of these commissioners and all your background and your focus. Our challenge will be is how we balance, and I think that's what you said it out. My biggest priorities from land use is we do have the right scale to neighborhoods. Los Angeles is a city of great neighborhoods, from City Terrace all the way to Chatsworth, from San Pedro all the way up to Sunland. And to make sure we don't overbuild, okay, and that we find solutions to the housing challenge within existing infrastructure near transit lines. But I think you all got that. That's your challenge. But I believe what every lot's going to be built on, and that's, you know, what's going to be the challenge of making sure it's fair, that it doesn't overwhelm a neighborhood. I have a matter before Planning Committee asked to deal with mansionization, which people have stopped me on the street and said it's important. Party houses in the Hollywood Hills, where they come into a neighborhood and they rent the house out for a party, which just causes problems on that. And also zoning knowledge. Information is power is knowledge, and I want people to get connected, to know what their local community plans are, what the zoning is, and be very familiar with that, and hopefully you could spread that word. Building and safety, though, is very important to help in that area, as Mr. Zine mentioned, keeping things safe and work effectively in that. Thank you for your service. I call out any one of us to help you, or our staffs, which all of our staffs have planning deputies and field deputies who handle that, so we could assist the people of Los Angeles. Thank you. And congratulations for all your families to come and see you here.
Thank you, Mr. Labange. Any other council members wishing to be heard? If not, if we can take these three items together, please. If we can prepare the roll, Madam Clerk, and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
Congratulations to the three of you. Thank you again for your service. Next items, please.
Item 2 is called special for cards from the public.
Okay. Item number 2 is now before us. We have Mr. Maris. Candido Maris, did you want to speak on 2 as well? You have a card? I mean, you're the first card, so please do if you'd like to.
My only concern is in regards to the company that has the maintenance contract. I would just hope that we hold them accountable. Van Nuys Boulevard is having a restoration and a rebirth, and it's very important because it's the heart of the San Fernando Valley. I would just hope that we hold the company accountable and make sure they do a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. We next have Michael Hunt, to be followed by Matt Dowd. And I would just, as Mr. Hunt is coming up, to further the orderly process of the meeting in a timely manner, and thus to avoid the possible loss of a quorum, if a member of public wishes to speak on more than one item, he or she shall limit his total remarks to 6 minutes. I know there's some other cards that you put in, Mr. Dowd, and some other folks, so we can just keep it at 1 minute on this, and we'll do 5 more minutes on the others.
Okay, it was one card that they repealed, right? What item was repealed? I think
we're just on number 2 right now. We've reconsidered 10, but that's not before us right now. Just number 2 is before us. So go ahead on number 2.
Yes, on the sidewalks of Van Nuys, I think that they're already clean enough. I think that we could vitalize the money someplace else in a better cause, maybe getting the homeless out of the downtown Los Angeles or giving homes to somebody. I think that this is kind of a good area so that the sidewalks really were very clean when I went down there. And I like to see the money or the use of the property goes taxes to somebody that really need it. I don't think it's no homeless in Van Nuys. So at this time, I would like to see, the city of Venice, cleaned up and the sidewalks cleaned up there instead of the people gone. So also, I like to pay attention to YouTube, Birdseed Arrest, youtube.com, Birdseed Arrest. Thank you. My name is Michael Hunt.
Thank you. Matt Dowd is our next speaker.
Yeah, hi, my name's Matt Dowd. You can find everything we do on youtube.com because we're fighting injustices and anomalies in the City Council agenda. This one here, item number 2, it's about continued assessment on a sidewalk maintenance in Van Nuys. I often go up to Van Nuys, to the remote location up there. It's a great facility, but we do notice when we drive along those big, wide boulevards up there, there's no homeless people out there. The sidewalks are beautiful. I mean, we talk about beatification. Let's take the money out of where they don't need it and put it where they do. South Central. I'm sure there's some farm people out on the street now. They need help. So that's what we're about. Matt Dowd's my name. I've got a show. It's called The Matt Dowd Show. I also appear on the Zuma Dog Show. And that's going to be on tomorrow, 12 o'clock, Adelphia, public
Thank
access.
you. Zuma Dog is our next speaker.
Oh, my goodness. Current item 2. Let me just recap for everybody just tuning in. First of all, credentials. My name's Zuma Dog. I'm running for LA City Council. And if you'd like to see my positions, you can go to my political blog, which I'll further explain these items. And that is available at zumadog.com, ZUMADOGG. Item number 2 says sidewalk maintenance for Van Nuys and Victory Boulevard. Oh, my God. Fix the sidewalks in Van Nuys and Victory Boulevard. How about the streets of L.A. where you got so many people living on them? The sidewalks look perfectly fine in Van Nuys. I was there to do my public comment last week. I say don't put that money to fix the sidewalks. Plus, we know nobody really walks in L.A. Haven't you heard the 80 songs from Missing Persons? And what else do I got to say on this? I'll be commenting further on the results of this on 790 KABC tonight at 10 p.m. And we'll be talking about the results of this vote on my political TV show, Zuma Dog, tomorrow, 12 p.m., 12 noon Adelphia, 7 p.m. Comcast. Political blog update, zumadog.com. It's established credentials and following up on the items.
Yes,
Hooty-hoo!
Mr. Daniel Wiseman, Dr. Daniel Wiseman is our next speaker. And I just remind speakers to keep as much to the topic before us, and then Charmaine Hayes is our last speaker.
I will, and I'll speak within
Please.
time. My running over before was done with full intent because the time limits, I think, are restraining us from really getting good communication to you. Now, with that being said, my noisy friends who just came up here need to hear from somebody who lives and works and loves Van Nuys. Unfortunately, we have our homeless too. The Sprouty Center, the benches in front of the State Building are lined with people living there who do not have homes. The street that is to be repaired, the sidewalks that is to be repaired, is a part of a situation in which the sidewalks between Oxnard and Victory Boulevard have had significant repair and significant work at the May 7th cleanup that we all participated in. But from Victory Boulevard north to Oxnard and further north need great help. And I hope that you'll pay attention to that as well as to many of the other parts of town.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Wiseman. Charmaine Hayes is our last speaker.
Good morning. My name is Charmaine Hayes, and I represent Chrysalis, and we are the company that provides the maintenance for the Van Nuys Victory sidewalk maintenance. And we just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to let us provide the maintenance. We are out there 15 hours a week, and there is a significant difference from the time we complete our job until we come back to pick trash up again. So it is a needed service, and with more hours, we will be able to be more consistent to keep the streets clean of Van Nuys and Victory Boulevard. And once again, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Charmaine. Appreciate it. Any members wishing to be heard on this? If not, let's open the roll on this item, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
That is approved. Next item, please.
Item 10 was
I'm
called
sorry.
special.
And before that, Mr. Labange for a quick introduction.
I have a great intern from Occidental. You'll like that, Mr. President Ryan Cassidy, and his parents are down here, Cindy and Michael. Give them a big hand. First visit to City Hall. They spend the morning here. Thank you for your son, and thank you for his work. Go Tigers. Thank you.
Go Tigers, indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Labange. Item number 10, please.
Item 10 is called special for Councilmember Cardenas.
Mr. Cardenas, number 10.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to ask a couple of generic questions about the GO bonds. In this particular case, we're looking at the 2006A series. Can you briefly give a layperson's example of or explanation of what these GO bonds are?
Sure. Marla Blevins with the CAO's office. This general obligation bond measure, the bonds that are being sold in the amount of approximately $75 million will be used to build fire facilities, animal service facilities, for citywide security facilities, as well as for the stormwater projects. And the ballot measures that gave authorization for these were Proposition F, which was passed in 2000, Proposition O, which was passed in 2002, Proposition Q, which was passed in 2002, and Proposition O, which was passed in 2004.
Now, can you explain to the public what it means when we call it a GO bond? Because there's different kinds of bonds. What does GO refer to? What does it mean to us?
Sure. GO stands for General Obligation Bond Measure, and basically a general obligation bond means that it's approved by the voters with 2/3 vote, and the money that goes to pay back the principal and interest payments on the bonds comes from property taxes, additional property taxes. So when the voters are voting to approve a general obligation bond measure, they're voting to tax themselves additional taxes in order to cover the principal and interest payments on the bonds that are sold to raise money to build these capital projects.
Now, if we had a bond that the general fund of the city of Los Angeles is going to pay that off, what would we call that bond?
It sounds like it's a MICLA lease financing, which is a little bit different. Technically, it's the MICLA Corporation that's issuing the debt, and the city is making lease payments to MICLA that will in turn be used to make the debt service payments. And the lease payments do not require voter authorization. However, general obligation bonds do require a 2/3 vote.
Now, on this particular issuance, what's going to be the timing of it? I mean, what format are we using to put this bond out? What is going to be the timing of it?
The bonds are going to be sold on August 9th on a competitive basis, and the money should be available to the city to use with 2 weeks after that. It takes us 2 weeks to close a bond deal usually.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Zine.
No, don't go away yet.
Sorry.
This matter came up previously, the indebtedness of the bonds. We have state bonds, we have county bonds, we have city bonds. What I'm trying to do is find out what the cost is based upon the value of the property. For example, a $250,000 home or a $500,000 home, and the indebtedness that we have. Because of all the bonds, if we add them up and we add some more bonds, obviously there's more indebtedness, and I know there's a period of time that people will have on their tax bill to pay that back. Do we have those numbers? Because that's what I was asked last time when this matter came up between the housing bond and the infrastructure bond for roadways.
I do have numbers for a home with an assessed valuation of $350,000.
Okay, where can we find a $350,000 home in Los Angeles? How about a $500,000 home?
Okay. How about 7? And I'll just double the numbers that I have here. I'll do multiple. So let's see, for a home with an assessed value of $700,000, it would be close to $90 to support Proposition F, the bonds.
Wait, $90 for F? Okay.
This is for a home with an assessed value of $700,000.
Okay.
Now, assessed value is different from market price.
Right. It's what they receive on their tax bill from the county assessor.
Correct.
Okay.
So a lot of homes are kind of artificially lower,
Right.
so to speak, because of Prop 13.
Or whatever their tax assessment is, that's what we're going by.
Right.
Okay. So 90 for Prop F.
And for Proposition Q, it would be approximately $110.
This is a year.
Yes, per year.
Okay.
And for Proposition O, it would be $8 for what's been issued so far.
Okay, so we got 90, 110, and 8.
Correct.
Now, what about the state bonds that people are already paying on and county bonds? I know there was a bond to provide hospital, I think it was Prop BB.
For the state bonds, I don't believe that the money comes from property taxes. I think it comes from the state's general fund.
Okay, what about
And-
the county assessment?
The county assessment, I'm not sure how much that's adding on to the tax roll.
What about Prop K and other bonds that are currently outstanding? Or are you saying we only have Prop F, Q, and O that are outstanding that
No,
property owners?
we actually have more. We have Proposition CC and DD, which were for the
That's what I want to do.
libraries.
I want to get the whole list.
Okay, we
So
can-
if we come up with something more, people will know, okay, you're
Okay.
adding this to the bill that's already, you're already being paid. And then the term, how many more years do we have to pay this off?
Okay.
Because it would be a term, 20, 30 years, whatever the case may be.
Okay. I don't have numbers for the other bond issues right now, since
Okay,
we're
what I-
not
what I'd
issuing
like
for
to
those,
get-
but I can prepare that for you.
I want to get the whole list to
Okay.
say all the bonds that we have outstanding, what the term is for the payoff of that bond, and what the indebtedness is for the property owner. So a single-family resident at $350 or $500 or $700 or $1 million, whatever the case may be, what that indebtedness is on the bonds that we currently have. Then we'll decide additional bonds and what that cost is going to be. So we're given a true reflection, because people are saying right now that the water and power rates, the trash fee, all these different fees, and we just add more and more and more. And I just want to be candid to say, vote for it, this is what you're going to pay, so people will know the knowledge that they need to have, not just $8 on this one, but the accumulation.
Okay, we can get that information for you.
Thank you. Sharon, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Zine. Anybody else wishing to be heard on this from the council? Seeing none, let's please open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate a vote. That is approved with 10 ayes.
10 ayes.
There we go. All right.
Mr. President, do you wish to send that forthwith, like the first time?
Yes, if there's no objection, we will send that forthwith, colleagues. Number 29, my questions have been answered, and I just want to remind our viewers out there that under the anti-vandalism ordinance, that folks who are able to give police information leading to enforcement on graffiti vandalism throughout the city, this is a reward, which is one of the many that we have passed this year for folks who've aided police in that. So wanted to make that a point of information. And if there's nobody who wishes to be heard on that, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
That is approved as well. We do have a special one. Is that correct?
Yes, there is a special one.
Okay.
Do you wish to take that up right now?
Yeah, Mr. City Attorney, on the findings, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll recite the facts as presented to me by the maker of the motion for the council's consideration of the adequacy of the findings. Since the posting of today's agenda, the Los Angeles Unified School District has informed the city of the need for a street closure at 3rd Street and Bixel to begin setting of a pedestrian bridge over 3rd Street that must be completed before the school opens September 5th. Immediate action is required to avoid delaying the project past September 5th. Council must first make findings pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.2 before considering the substantive motion.
All right. Anybody wishing to be heard on the findings? If not, let's open the roll on the emergency findings, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Okay, that is now before us. Mr. Reyes, do you want to say anything? Or? Mr. Reyes.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to share with you that as we try to keep up with each other's schedules, meaning the city and school board and the construction timeframe, sometimes we come into these situations. By allowing for this vacation, we will allow a bridge to be built, and it'll make a huge difference on the safety factor for many of the kids who will be attending as students. So I thank you for your support.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Reyes. Anybody else wishing to be heard? Seeing none, please open the roll on special item 1, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
That is approved forthwith if there's no objection on that as well. If we can take up 52 next, and it's called Special for Card from the Public. Sylvia Hawkins, if you'd like to come forward on item number 52, please.
Pardon me, President, Eric said, is any way I can have 2 minutes?
You have 1 minute on this one, Ms. Hawkins.
Okay, on number 52, we must at this time certify all cars, trucks, and pink slips, and not just registration card. Because of African people that has killed the Jewish people to control the Department of Motor Vehicle, Department of Water and Power, school system board, we must be aware of Letitia and Stacy Mellows, a group that is called the
Excuse me,
Hush
Mr.
Company.
President. I don't think she's anywhere close to the topic of this.
If you can please
Pardon me?
constrain it to the topic at hand on item number 52, which, if you can pause the timer for a second, Mr. Clerk, if you can please talk about the Buckingham Road block party.
Okay,
Thank you.
concerning cars. Keep back on that.
Please
Again.
continue. Please continue.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, concerning the registration and concerning the Department of Vehicle Building and the Department of Water and Power, we must be aware that these buildings have been overtaken and taken, which means the owner is dead.
Thank you. We appreciate their comments. Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. We have another card. Mr. Dog, Zuma Dog is next. We also have cards for 36, 40, 46, 47, and 49, and we've had a minute of comment before. We'll set the clock at 5 minutes. Again, if you'd like to take it down or look at it.
That's a very excellent idea.
36,
Just kill all the birds with
40,
one stone, y'all.
36, 40, 46, 47, 49, and 52. Mr. Dog.
Yeah, it's like the newest reality game show. Is the city council price right? That's what most of these things come down to, y'all. So right now I'll talk about current item number 52 because I'm Zuma Dog running for city council. I'm here to clarify the situation for all my constituents. And it says, relative to declaring the Buckingham Road Block Party July 22nd, my general feeling about these road block parties, we got so many problems in LA. It ain't time to be spending money on no parties in the streets, y'all. Plus those are big problems for driving and things like that. So first of all, I say no to that. And I like to say, LA, it's like a gang over here. Y'all vote the same every time. Can I at least see one no vote up here for once? It's always unanimous or all no against it. I'd like to comment on item number 40 right now. Feasibility of vacating Ridgewood Place east of Van Ness from Fountain. Okay, now let me break it down. Zuma Dog, legalese. Feasibility of vacating. That's fancy legalese for how much is it going to cost to claim eminent domain and kick everyone out on the streets. So that's what's coming next. Zuma Dog on the radar with this political blog. You can check that out. We'll be commenting more on this. That's zumadog.com, ZUMADOGG, relating to these issues. And you can watch YouTube videos from these meetings to clarify the situation, y'all. And let's see, what else do I have on here? Because I do research all night, y'all. I don't know what it means, but I am hearing this word gentrification, y'all. People even on MySpace, even my fans on MySpace are saying this word gentrification. I don't know what it means, but it's coming to Echo Park and everywhere, rampant through Los Angeles, y'all. Now, City Council 46, let me cut to 46, person on TV watching. By the way, nice sound on that remote the city spent so much money on from MacArthur Park. It sounded so good on the broadcast. It sounded like a walkie-talkie. Thank you very much. City Council wants to pay $32,000 for an outdoor farmer's market on the street. An outdoor farmer's market. I thought you just tore that down. It's called the South Central Farm of LA. So they don't pay taxes and they don't pay Cantran contributions. So you tear that down because they don't contribute politically. And now you want to spend $32,000 to put the same thing up on the street because that's where the money's coming from the other side. Zuma Dog, public advocate for real though. Now running for city council to translate all this legalese for the constituents. Zuma Dog, the people's champ. I'll be discussing these issues further tonight at 790 KABC Radio and on my TV show tomorrow at 12 noon on the Philadelphia called Zuma Dog Show, and on Comcast 7
Mr. Dog, if you can please constrain it to the items before
okay,
us. And that's a second warning.
I didn't hear the first one. What was the first warning?
Constrain your comments to what we have before us, please.
I thought it was related, but I could easily do that. They're trying to trip me up, but there's so many problems I could easily do at number 47 and 49. I'll combine it. It's more city money spent on frivolous special interest events. I mean special events. Excuse me, I'll be distracted. Can we please call some order here within the benches of the rotunda, y'all? So anyway, these special events, they want more money, but we got way bigger issues. And let's see, I got 2 minutes. What else is on the agenda, y'all? I can go back. What happened to the one about putting the light bulbs up on the Griffith Park statue nobody can go to at night? Well, I had that one down here. Those are light bulbs in Griffith Park. They want to light that up even though nobody can go there at night. If the statue, put it this way, Arnold Schwarzenegger was on TV talking about taking lights out and turning lights off and saving energy. Now they want to pass.
Hold on, you're off topic, sir. I'm sorry, that's your third warning. We're going to have to close public comment.
That's my third warning.
Right
Look how they're trying to keep me down, y'all.
So we can
Zuma
close it
Dog,
down?
the people's champ. Look what they're trying to do.
Thank you, sir. All right. We appreciate all the public comment today that you've given us, Mr. Dog. We are now have before us also on these items, we've discarded 52. Is that right, Madam Clerk? Do we vote on 52?
Item 52 is still before
Let's
you.
just take up 52 because we have now finished the speaker cards on that one. If we can please open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
10 eyes.
That is approved. And can we send 28 forthwith if we haven't done that too, if there's no objection? And 29 as well. Okay. We now have before us, colleagues, a few other items which we have only public speaker cards for. We have a bare quorum on this as well. I want to reiterate that we are in danger of losing this quorum, and if a member of public wishes to speak on more than one item, he or she shall limit his or her remarks to a total of 6 minutes per meeting. So I'd like to ask our next two, well, actually, I'd like to ask Samuel Sanchez to come forward next, who put in a card on item number 36, to make sure we can hear from him. For 1 minute, please.
I would like to address the gang violence issue, item number 36. Now, we've put $2 billion, over $2 billion, and on a project that won't be done for decades. And I'm sure that it'll cost more in the future. You guys know that there will be more additional funds. Now, when you put $2 billion into downtown, you're pushing out the poor people. Skid Row gets rid of their porta potties. Those people go to South Central. The crime rates rise. Any one of the people in this room can go to South Central right now and get a rock of crack. Easily. Easily. Now, how does that contribute to the gang violence there? And what is the council person of these districts that have those problems doing about it? What are they doing about it? Well, the mayor almost lost his life just a few weeks ago. Why? He was trying to give his condolences to someone else, a teenage girl who lost her life. There was a drive-by while the mayor was there giving his condolences.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Thank you. If I can ask you to conclude. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Our next speaker is Mr. Matt Dowd on this. Matt Dowd is our next speaker, and there are also cards for Mr. Dowd on items 40, 46, 47, 49. So if you can please address all of those as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Venice Outlaws, Channel 35. My name's Matt Dowd. Just want to establish who I am. I'm a permit holder from the city of Los Angeles. I've got a television show called The Matt Dowd Show, where we talk about all the items which we address at City Hall. First one, I'd like to mention something about that item 36. That's an amendment to the city's contract for a gang activity reduction strategy. But I've been the victim of amendments to these city contracts, so I'm not in favor of that without it being actually, redistributed to the community to have their input on this one. I wanted to speak on item 39, which I had a card in for, but I see that one was continued, I think, till next week. But that's an item, it's another one where they're trying to put control from the city council. They want to control everything. Obviously, Chief Bratton put you in your place. Enough's enough, and I agree. Item number 40, Bill Rosendahl, Eric Garcetti, motion. I haven't seen Bill Rosendahl for a little while, actually, so, I hope he's okay. This is relative to initiating street vacation proceedings. Van Ness Avenue from Fountain Avenue to its northerly terminus. That sounds like the beginning of an eminent domain process. There's a number of these items actually on the agenda.
This is a point of information. The street vacations are not eminent domain proceedings, just so you know.
Sorry, they what?
Those are not eminent domain proceedings.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, because we had a lot of problems with people getting evicted, Lincoln Place and numerous places around the city. Item 46, the farmers market. Once again, we can see how easy it is for the city to absorb costs for some of these special events. But honestly, it's a slap in the face for the South Central farmers when you're throwing money at farmers markets, and they've been here for years trying to keep that piece of green land in the city. I'm all for helping out the farmers, all of them, not just these guys, not just the ones at Venice or any other district. And, you know, it's about time I think the city looked at alternative ways to achieve the same end result. You know, often you go about it the wrong way. You want to headbutt your way in with LAPD and just stamp down on the community, and that's where you end up with problems that we see in the police department right now. Want to mention item 47, relative declaring the benefit for the bravest, a special event. That sounds like a worthwhile idea to me. I just wanted to mention that because, you know, country's built on the brave. So whatever that is, I don't even care. Let's throw a couple of thousand at it. Item 54, actually that was continued on till next week. So just want to mention that anything I discuss and mention in City Hall, we'll have it up on YouTube. My name's Matt Dowd. I'm also...
Sir, if we could constrain your comments, as a second warning on items 36, 40, 46, 47, 49. You've given the public plenty of context of who you are and what
all of those
speaker is.
items which you just mentioned, which I've commented on.
Publicizing that those items will be up on a website is not commenting on the items, sir.
There's further comment on the item on the website.
If I can ask you to please contain yourself to that.
Because I'm restricted with my time here,
We've given you a
we
lot
have
of
to
time
tell
today.
the public and on Channel 35 where they can find further information. If they're interested in our campaign, we've got Zuma Dog here running for City Hall. I'm helping
Thank
him
you,
out.
Mr. Dowd. We appreciate your comments today. Thank you. Our final speaker is Mr. Michael Hunt. On the same items?
So we're going to start with actually item number, what, 36?
You have 36, 40, 46, 47, and 49.
Okay, can you recap 36? Oh, 36 is about the gang violence, huh? And spearheading the gang violence, and my name is Michael Hunt, and my credentials here in Venice Beach, too. And we also have permits to spearhead gang violence in Los Angeles as well. I think that we're missing out on the biggest spearheader that's in you guys' council is Janice Hahn. I think that she would be great for this project, and I think that she can show great leadership and conform to helping the youth and controlling their tempers. I think that this would be great for her to go in and just really take her time and really work, you know, with the youth and just, you know, have a positive attitude and learn how to reframe, you know, from violence and violence activities and things like that. And maybe she could help LAPD when you go to youtube.com, Birdseed Arrest. That's the biggest gang. Wait, that's one of the gangs in LA. If you ask the Rampart Division, that's where I'm leading to. And you can see, because they've been sanctioned up under the federal consent decree as a gang, that's why they brought in the federal consent decree. You know, LAPD, you know, they found a lot of gang members and doing a lot of illegal activity. So I think that ties in very well what the presentation is, because we have now not one rampart, we have many ramparts. So if you go to youtube.com, Birdseed Arrest, you'll be able to see what's going on in the agenda. Okay, now for number 40, let's see it. Oh, man, number 40. I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go on to number 46, declaring the $32,000 absorbed for the market. I think, like everybody else say, all my colleagues say here, that money could be very well used someplace else. The $32,000 could be used to probably help the South Central farmers, or maybe help even the police stop arresting people for feeding birds, which is another thing, you know, like on youtube.com, Birdseed Arrest. You know, if we spend our money, the $32,000 on training our enforcement, we can really understand what the world is all about. And now I'm going to yield all my time to Matt Dow right here so that he can.
Sorry, sir, he's already exceeded 6 minutes for the day.
He's already spoke on it. So, well, then I'm going to go on to item 49. I'll call my chief of staff up here, Matt Dow. Matt, if you can kind of collaborate on this with me.
Mr. Dowd has already had 6 minutes.
No, just.
If you have nothing more to say yourself, sir, then we will
Right,
end the public
no.
comment.
Other than that number 49, well, is it, 47?
You have nothing else to say on 49, sir? Then we will
Okay, no,
consider your public
no,
comment
no,
over.
Actually, we're going to take it to 47, and that's brave, talking about being brave citizens in the United States or in L.A., being brave, getting an award for being the bravest. I think after being arrested 24 times, I think I'm pretty brave. I consider myself right next to Jesus Christ, Dr. King, or
So I think
Malcolm
I think
X.
that's away from the special event, so thank you for your comments today. That will end our public comment. And with that, we'd like to open the roll on all of those items, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Those are all approved. Next order of business.
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Those are posted and referred.
That clears the desk.
All right, any announcements, colleagues? Announcements? If there are no, yes, Mr. Reyes.
I just wanted to say thank you to the staff, the city staff, who came out on Wednesday and did a great job supporting the council and the council meeting, and my colleagues for attending. I appreciate your support. And to the committee members who came out, my only regret is that we didn't have enough time to bring on the stage the community members who were there and to introduce them personally. But again, it was a great demonstration of how the city family can work together between the city attorney, the fire department, police department, and all the other branches that make the city work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Announcements? Mr. Labange?
Just another great job, Ed, and I walked around MacArthur Park. It's beautiful. We all should go take a walk here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements, colleagues? If not, you have another announcement, Mr.
Just
Labange?
welcome two good Irishmen who I met yesterday in North Hollywood. Stand up, fellas, and God bless Ireland. Thank you.
Welcome to democracy at its rawest. With that, any other announcements, colleagues? If not, do we have adjourning motions today? If I can please ask everybody in council chambers to please rise for our adjourning motions. Ms. Hahn and then Ms. Perry. Ms. Hahn?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like us to adjourn today in the memory of Margarita Rosa. She was known as Mago. She passed away a week ago in a car accident on her way to an annual family vacation and to see her niece baptized in Austin, Texas. She was only 33 years old. This is really a sad story, as a lot of them are, but Mago was a proud product of LAUSD. She attended 186th Street School and graduated from Narbonne High School. And it was at Narbonne that she met her husband, Alejandro Roa, and together they had 3 children. And she worked as a school supervisor aide at 186th Street for 9 years. She loved working on the playground, and this is going to be hard for me to read, and at the bus stop to keep the kids safe. Her children also attended that school. And the teachers, the staff, and the students have been very hard hit by this loss. And they all actually wanted to go to attend the funeral today. So my office was able to provide a bus so that they could all go to the funeral and the burial of Margarita today. And I want to give a shout out to the controller's office because, as you know, providing money for buses is a whole protocol and a whole system. We've all gone through that. And when you get to a certain point of the year, there's no more money for buses, and DOT has their own system. And so I had to ask for a special favor from the controller's office, who, after they heard the story, it was Michael De La Rosa in the controller's office, said, absolutely, we'll process this payment as soon as possible. And her obituary was very beautifully written, and it explained that she was called by God, and God said, I need a supervisor in heaven to help the little angels play fairly. And she answered the call and is now supervising the heavenly playground. She's survived by her husband, Alejandro, her son, Alejandro, and daughters, Yesenia and Andrea. God bless all of them.
Thank you, Ms. Hahn.
I'm sad.
Mr. Labange, did you have a adjourning motion?
I could ask, tragically, another accident, someone called before their time. Douglas Glenn Weeks, who was only 37 years old, born in Illinois, graduated from Southern Methodist University, tragically was killed in a traffic accident in the Silver Lake District. So ask that we adjourn in memory of Douglas Glenn Welke, survived by his parents and his sister and brother.
I'd like to second that, please.
Thank you. And also, I'll hold this for Tuesday when Mr. Parks returns and Mr. Smith, but the great one, Bud Furillo, passed, the great writer. We want to speak on his on Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Labange. Ms. Perry.
I'm doing this on behalf of Mr. Parks, who will be back next week, adjourning in memory of James Edward Ross Sr., who passed July the 8th, 2006. He was a retired police officer born May 12, 1938 in Montgomery, Alabama. He attended Los Angeles Southwest College and was a member of Miracle Baptist Church in Los Angeles. He was heavily involved in his community. During his years as a police officer, he was in the DARE program, Neighborhood Watch, and Graffiti Task Force. He was a member of the Los Angeles Protection League, served in the United States Navy from 1955 to 1963 on the USS Princeton and received the Good Conduct Medal, was also involved with the Foster Parents Association. He was a great father and friend, and his warmth and love will never be forgotten. He is survived by his children Glenn, Charmaine, James, Sean, Tiffany, Tony, Jason Ross, 9 grandchildren, and his siblings Elijah, Ruth, Willie, Frank, Bernard, Betty, and Shirley, and a host of nieces and nephews. And the service was held on July the 17th.
Thank you, Ms. Berry. Mr. Wesson?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to adjourn in the memory of Mrs. Chun Hun Kim, who died at the age of 91 years old. She was the beloved mother of LA County Commissioner, City Commissioner, State Commissioner Gene Kim. She will be missed dearly by a host of friends and relatives.
Mr. Labange, all members on that, all members. Any other adjourning motions, colleagues? If not, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll. Thank you. The City Council will next be in session July 25th, Tuesday at 10 a.m. here in City Council Chambers, room 340, John Farrell Council Chambers. Have a great weekend, everybody. This meeting is adjourned.